Morning YouTube. I'd like to make a quick video. I've done a couple videos here in the recent past of, kind of making fun of the end of the world, conspiracy theorists. Doing a little bit to debunk the whole I can predict the end of the world. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that there might not be something happen. I don't know. You don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. That's the thing about it. If it's a natural God or Allah or whoever you believe in, if it's something that's going to be an outside force, affect this planet, there's nothing you, I, Bert and Ernie, anybody else can do about it. But here's the thing. And I'm not saying that my videos are all that great or wonderful or I should have a gazillion hits or whatever, but I'm going to prove a point here. First video I uploaded was on January 23rd, 2012. 18 views on that. January 23rd, another one, 10 views. AK versus AR, which that one had sort of kind of end of the world, gun choice overtone to it. 191 views. Glock disassembly, 8 views. My CCW guns, 53 views. Reloading the AK-47, 12 views. AR-15 malfunction drills, 25 views, 23 views. Field stripping of 1911, 9 views. Defensive ammunition, 37. Choosing your defensive gun, 77. How to reload ammunition, 93 views. That one went up February 13th. So, 10, 12, 14 days ago. Now, shit hit the fan. STHF. BOB, 4 Glocks in 1. February 15th, and by the way, today is March 3rd. February 15th, so 2.5 weeks ago, 96 views. Real uses for 550 cord, which I got a lot of people that seem to have liked that video because most of the ones that you can find on the internet are how to make a bracelet. But like I said, nominal number of views on all my videos. I'm not doing them because I'm trying to come up with the next viral video. I'm trying to do them to help people. Then I decided to make my first pick on the end of the world guys. The Truth, March 22nd, 2012, may produce another massive earthquake. That went up February 29th. So, 1, 2, not even 3 days ago, 2.5 days ago from the time I put it up. No, coming up on 3 days. We'll call it 3 days. 380 views. 3 days, 380 views. Because it's about the end of the world. Next day I uploaded, next day I uploaded my sequel, which is 7.0 Earthquakes in the Past 100 Years. Been up 2 days. Actually, that one's been up 1.5 days. 66 views. People are concerned about the end of the world. People are apparently more concerned about the end of the world than they are just about anything else. From what, if you just do a general overwatch of all the new videos being posted on YouTube and all the blog posts. I mean, it's one after another, after another, after another. Here's my prediction for the end of the world. Look at this data. Here's the thing. All these people, I'm pretty sure 99.9% of them are not astrophysicists. Most of them are guys sitting at home doing a little bit of research on Google and compiling data they find from blogs and somebody saw or somebody did or whatever. If you can't sit down and find concrete data from a reliable source that something's going to happen, why would you believe some guy sitting at his, sitting at home on a folding chair in his underwear eating Cheetos making end of the world videos to try and get YouTube hits. For those of you that don't know, every time you get an ad, and I monetize my videos too, but see these little S's here, monetized? Those are dollar signs. What that means is every time you watch a video, if you click the ad, I get 1/10 of a cent or something stupid like that. It's nothing big. But if you whoop, didn't mean to bump that, sorry. Let's just do the quick math. Let's go to my channel here. And I'm damn sure not into this for money. As of right now, 13 subscribers, 1,728 views. Now, I need to make a quick notation here. Because I used a soundtrack on my largest video, or viewed video, which was the truth about March 22nd, 2012, I could not monetize it. You see here, there's no little dollar sign. And they're still deciding if they're going to monetize the other one. But, so, 380 views you can subtract from my number here on my channel. Which, if we do that real quick, 1728 minus 380. Oops, I don't know how that happened. 1,728 total views of all my videos. 17. Why is the one not working? 1,728 minus 380. I don't know. My mouse button must not be working. So 1,348 views. Okay, big deal. Somewhere down here, AdSense. This is where you get paid for the people that watch your ads. So far since I've signed up, I made $1.07. I am getting rich. Man, I may retire next week. Actually, had $1.07 last month. Okay. So, $1.07 out of 1,348 views. So, 1,348. Now these guys that come in and get 1,000,000 hits, we're going to take that same 1,000,000 hits. I guess I'll put this back over on the screen where you can see it. Them same 1,000,000 hits, 6 zeros, we're going to divide that by 1,348. It's 741.38, blah blah blah. We're going to multiply that by what I say, $1.07. $793 if I can get 1,000,000 hits. Now we understand why it's so cool to have the viral video. Because law of averages says the same number of people are going to click the ads, blah 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 blah. So it's not really all about trying to produce the video and warn you what's coming. That's the first thing you need to understand. Some people are making these videos to try and get hits to make some money. Because if you can get 1,000,000 people to hit your video, $700, and these videos that go viral, like the guy that shot the laptop had like 3.5 million views in 4 days. If he monetized that, I don't know if he did or didn't. He made some money. At least helped make his car payment that week. Anyway, that's the first thing you need to understand. So some people are primarily making these videos trying to get rich, or at least make a little money. Now, if there is something going to happen cataclysmic or natural or God created or whatever, the long and the short answer of it is, whether you like it or not, there's nothing we can do to change it, stop it, or control it. It's going to happen. So If that's the case, if there's a big asteroid chunk of rock and metal going to hit the Earth, I'm going to get a chair and a six-pack and I'm going to sit and watch the fireworks show, because that's about all you're going to be able to do. With my luck, it'll hit the other side of the planet and I won't even be able to see it. So that kind of is the quick answer for that. If there is something drastic going to happen, it's going to happen. The third thing I'd like to point out is these guys that are making these videos and coming up with these data lines and data sets that make sense. Here's the quick answer on that. You're taking data, like we're going to use earthquake data. The seismologic, the Richter scale, which we base, the magnitude of earthquakes, was put into effect worldwide in 1935. I found that somewhere. I should have had it pulled up so I could show you. So before that, earthquakes were based and judged based on the amount of damage they did, not the actual shaking of the earth. So in my opinion, and this is my opinion, all the data before 1935 is skewed. It is not guaranteed accurate data. Because there are earthquakes that have been in the 5.0 range in areas that were not used to having earthquakes that have killed thousands of people over the years. And they were 4s and 5s, but because they were in an area that's not used to earthquakes and they did massive amounts of damage and they killed a lot of people, I'm sure, well, if you've never felt an earthquake before and you have a 5.0, that was a 7 or an 8. It was all based on people's opinions, not consistent data. That's the first problem. The second problem is seismographs. The USGS in the 30s really first started putting up the seismographs that they could catch any earthquake around the world. And when that happened, and if you pull up a USGS earthquake map, which let's pull that up real quick. If you pull up an and I'm sorry, I should have had this up. Earthquake maps. Latest earthquakes in the world in the past 7 days, according to USGS. If you look at the number of earthquakes, there is a large percentage, not all, obviously, but there is a huge percentage of them that are in the ocean. Well, if they're in the ocean, nobody felt them. Maybe some people felt them, maybe they didn't. But how many times, if you lived in a relatively earthquake-prone area, or not earthquake-prone area, like here in Oklahoma, which it looks like we had one here in Oklahoma recently. This will be perfect. Because I live in Oklahoma, and I haven't felt any earthquakes lately. Apparently there's been a 3.0 and a 2.6. Right here. Now I live up here somewhere. Probably 120 miles north and a little bit east of where those earthquakes happened. I didn't feel them. Maybe nobody felt them at all. Maybe somebody felt them. If they did, could they guess what magnitude they were? Of course not. But because the USGS now has all these seismometers that they can feel. Look, big earthquake here. 5.4 out in the middle of the ocean. 4.7 out in the middle of the ocean. 4.8 out in the middle of the ocean. With all these earthquakes that are out in the middle of the ocean, here's 2.9 and a 2.7 out in the middle of the ocean. Nobody knew that when those were happening, and they were happening 100 years ago and 200 years ago out in the middle of the ocean on where the plate borders are. Nobody knew they were there. But now that we have seismographs that can catch those, they're going into data sets. So people are going, wow, the amount of earthquakes has dramatically increased in the last 100 years. Well, of course it has. We have the technology to detect them places nobody could feel them. Of course it has. It's just like, 100 years ago there was 2 causes of death. Natural causes, unnatural causes. So people are going now, well, cancer has increased 100-fold. No, it hasn't. We just know how to detect what cancer is now. Excuse me. When you died in 1900, if you didn't have a bullet hole in your chest, a horse kick you in the head or a building or something fall on you, you died of natural causes. May have been a heart attack, may have been cancer, may have been, you know, kidney failure. I mean, it may have been all the different things that could have killed you naturally, quote unquote. But they didn't know what it was. Cancer has risen, skyrocketed, because now we can detect what it is. It's the only reason it's, you know, massively increased over the last 100 years. The whole point of this is all our data we have right now is just the beginning of collections of data in the scope of reality. Because we've only been able to detect this stuff 60, 70, 80, 100 years. We don't have a data set going back far enough that's accurate to compare it to. So whether earthquakes are getting more frequent or less frequent, nobody really knows. Because as technology advances and we have the ability to detect a 4.7, let's make sure that we're not talking about an island here, just because somebody will argue with me later. Well, that sure looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere to me. It doesn't look like there's an island there. Yeah. No, oh, there, it's pointing to an island. So just because there was a 4.7 earthquake in the middle of the ocean, and we know about it, and it's going on the map as on the list as a 4.7 earthquake. I don't know how far that is. There's no legend for me to really be able to tell how far it is. I'm guessing nobody on that island, if anybody even lives there, felt that earthquake. But that's an earthquake that is now on the map. And that is an earthquake that we know happened. Here's an even bigger one. Here's a 5.4. And I'm going to assume that's not on an island. And I lost it. Anyway, you get the point. There's real good chance that, yeah, I'm not seeing an island there. Well, there's another. I don't know if anybody lives on that island or not. Again, there's a 5.4 earthquake that went on the data set that 100 years ago nobody would have had any clue happened. So, all that being said, with the things that are truly going on that you do need to be worried about, like, you know, the idiot in Iran that's trying to build nuclear weapons, or the fact that the economy's crumbling, gas is going to hit $5 a gallon by the summer, and there are economists that believe that when the gas gets to $5 a gallon, we're going to start to have a breakdown in society because people aren't going to be able to afford to go to work. Here's the thing that you need to be afraid of and worried about. Things that we do have control over that, you know, as people start to panic and create hysteria, you are going to have what I call a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you get enough people that believe the end of the world's coming on 12/21/12, they're going to make it happen. Look at Hurricane Katrina. Bad enough situation by itself. But when you introduce all the crime and the rapes and the pillaging and the looting and all that, they made it 100% worse than what it absolutely had to be. Don't get me wrong, it was a horrible disaster, a horrible natural disaster. But the people of New Orleans created a lot of their own problems after the fact. And you can argue with me and tell me I'm an asshole for saying that, and that's fine. It doesn't change that what happened. I had a good friend of mine who was former active duty MP, was in the reserves. The MPs went down there. His unit went to New Orleans looking for bodies. Over half the bodies of the people that he found had been murdered. I think that his group found like 72 people, and 35 of them had been shot or stabbed or choked to death or murdered. And people were never brought to justice for all those murders because, you know, investigating that would have been impossible at this point. So, all that being said, and keep in mind, man-made disasters are typically a whole lot worse than natural disasters. Here's the thing people need to truly be worried about if there does happen to be a real natural disaster. These are all the operating nuclear power plants inside the United States. couple in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. There's one in Kansas. As you go east across the United States, they obviously get more and more and more prevalent. If you live in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, and there is no legend here for me to tell the distance on this map. I can tell you, I need to find a reference point, which I'm going to find. Well, that's as far as I can zoom in. Basically where this little hand is right here, you can't see. From here to Tulsa, I'm about 100 miles. It's not even a fingertip. 1, 2, so 3 little hands. So for me, I am 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. I'm about 400 miles, and that's a guess, from that nuclear reactor. And again, I'm probably 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, about 500 miles from the one in Arkansas. So, being that prevailing winds in the United States typically move west to east across this way, I am reasonably safe from fallout from these reactors. But what you need to understand is, if there is a massive cataclysmic event and or people just stop going to work, when the water levels fall below them fuel rods and they are exposed, you're going to have a massive radiation area. I'm going to say 200 to 300 miles, and I don't know, I guess you need to do some research. Maybe I need to do some research on that. But there's going to be a big circle around each one of them reactors that is going to be highly irradiated. So if you live in one of them areas and there is a massive economic breakdown, cataclysmic event, whatever, you need to move your ass, and you need to get as far away from them things as you can. Obviously Montana, Wyoming, Salt Lake City, New Mexico, great places to go and hide. Colorado, Utah. But point is, these are things you need to be worried about if there is a huge breakdown in society. Because that's not something that's going to stop in 10 minutes. That's not something that's going to stop quickly. That is stuff that has a 60 million year half-life or something like that. Whatever it is, it's a long time. It's going to be longer than any of us are here. So if there is a breakdown in society, if there is something, this is what you need to be worried about. This is going to be your primary problem. So if you live anywhere on them little blue dots, good luck to you. If something does happen, that's going to be what's going to kill you. It's not going to be lack of food. It's not going to be lack of water. It's not going to be lack of any of that. It's going to be radiation. You know, I know those systems are set up on redundancies and they have backup this and backup that, but when there's not somebody there to refill the backup diesel generator, water pump, gas tank, that's when the problems are going to come up. So anyway, food for thought. Everything I do is food for thought. I don't claim to be an expert in anything. Just trying to make some observations, some real observations. But don't watch the videos and drive yourself into a panic. Do yourself a favor. For every video you try and watch that says, here, it's the end of the world, find another video that says, no, it's not the end of the world. Try to make the best guess you can based on real information, not some 16-year-old or 21-year-old college student who's got a PC and some skills with the PC and some free time to make a video. This is going to be my last end of the world video right now until I have no desire to put any more effort into this. wanted to say my piece on it. I've done my little PowerPoint movie things and, you know, kind of poked a little fun at the people I wanted to poke fun at. But, you know, I'm not telling anybody don't be prepared. I'm not telling anybody they shouldn't have some food set aside and the ability to feed themselves and clothe themselves and shelter themselves and, you know, keep warm or keep cool or whatever. I'm not telling anybody not to do that. I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared to take my family into the woods and hide for a year or longer if I need to. I'm not telling anybody not to be ready. What I'm telling you is you might want to focus on the things that really could happen and a little less on the things that they do. It ain't going to matter. All that being said, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate people that do show up on my channel, and I've got a couple subscribers now, 13 or whatever. I hope those 13 subscribers are based on my weapons videos and not my end of the world videos, because they're not going to find any more end of the world videos on my channel after this. But anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you like the gun videos I put out, appreciate thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like the videos. I'm going to do more now that the weather's breaking a little outside. I'm going to get some live fire videos up there. So thanks for watching. You guys have a good day.